26. Cosecant of 45. Well, once again, draw it in standard position. It's just the best habit to have. 45 degrees, 1, 1, square root of 2. And I don't think in cosecants, I'm thinking in sine. Sine of this thing is, let's see here, 1 over square root of 2. Now don't rationalize the sucker because you're fixing to flip it. When you flip him, he just becomes square root of 2. So that's option D, and you're done. Okay, move on to 27. Sine 24 degrees. Write in terms of cofunction of a complementary angle. Well, Lord Jesus, the directions told you what to do. Goodness. Cofunctions. They actually told you cofunction, cosine, and then they actually used the word complementary angle. 90 minus 24 is what? 66. Okay. I'm telling you, I took headache meds, so God help me. So 28, we got tangent, 3y plus 4, and then we got cotangent, and this is y plus 24. Okay, and it does say find the solution, assume everything's a cube. Okay, what you got to look at, what's the relationship between tangent, cotangent? And they have several, so be careful here. They are reciprocals, but reciprocals don't help you here. What's going to help you is really the fact that 27's up above it, and they're talking cofunctions, and you got to think, oh yeah, these boogers are cofunctions. So this angle and this angle have to add up to 90. So quite honestly, the instructions for number 27 are going to help you on number 28. And then once you get it written out, you should be good. 4y plus 28 equals 90. Okay, I have no idea what 90 minus 28 is. Do y'all know? 62. Okay, so how many times is 4 going to 62? 15.5. Okay, that would be option A. Sounds good to me. The main thing is getting it set up. You've got to recognize those are cofunctions. Okie dokie. 29. True or false? Decide whether the statement is true or false. Sine 68 less than cosine 68. Guys, you're sitting there with a calculator. You can type it in. Make sure your calculator is on degrees. So you might want to do a double check, especially if somebody else has touched your calculator. And you can type sine 68, and then you can type cosine of 68. And then you can compare. Sine is bigger. That's not the way this thing is written. This thing is written with sine being smaller, so you're going to say this is false. So just put a F over there in the blank. All right, number 30. It says A is negative 4.7. The question says find the reference angle. Well, just think about it. If it's negative 4.7, you swung down a little bit. 4.7. That is your reference angle. 4.7. So it's option C. 31 says your angle is 206.7. Well, that's going to be in quadrant 3. Down here at 206.7, this is 180. You got to know what the difference is. So it's always the big one minus the little one there. So 206.7 minus 180 is 26.7. Reference angles are always and forevermore positive. Okay? And they're always going to be less than 90 degrees. 32. Secant of 90. Okay, find the exact function value and notice that lovely little phrase, if it exists. Okay, when you see 90, you should know that's hitting right there, which means unit circle. So what is that ordered pair? That ordered pair is 0 and 1. You didn't go side to side, but you went up. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So cosine is the first one. Okay, now let's think about it. If cosine is 0, and I do the reciprocal of 0, that would be undefined, hence not existing. So that would be B. And that's what they have. They have undefined. Alright, then we go on 33, cosine 210. Okay, so it's a normal one. Dropping down here, 210, 180, and until you get familiar, you may have to use your calculator, but that's just 30 degrees. Label your sides, and that's going to be 2. Put your signs in. Remember, if it's left or down, put your signs in. Cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So it'll be A. Right. You're going to continue on that thing. Tangent 120. So 120 up here, 180 down here. So opposite square root of 3, there's a 2, there's a 1. He went left, he's the only one that gets a negative. Tangent, opposite, adjacent. So just plain old square root of 3. He is negative though. Shame on me, I've left my negative off my 1. So C. Okay. 35. 35 is sine negative 150. Okie dokie. So you're going to have to think just a minute. So we're going this way. You didn't quite reach negative 180. So negative 150 is here. The difference would be 30 degrees. So it's just like that one that we drew a while ago. There's a 1, there's a 2, there's a square root of 3, negative, negative. But now we're doing sine. Opposite over hypotenuse, negative 1/2. That's B. Okay. Remember, when in doubt, and you're looking at the SIGNs, signs, all students take calculus. Verify your signs using this. So you might be able to cancel some of your answer choices out if you'll reflect on that. All right. Oh, you got one more. Cosine negative 330. Alright, negative means we're rotating the weird way, and we're going to go all the way over here. If it's 330, and you got 360, it's a difference of 30, so that's a 1, square root of 3, and that's a 2. First quadrant, so everything's positive. Cosine is square root of 3 over 2. Where is that? D. Okay. And that was 36. 37. 37 says sine of theta equals square root of 3 over 2. So basically you take the same idea, but we're going backwards. Instead of me giving you the angle and you telling me the ratio, I'm giving you the ratio and you're going to tell me the angle. There's a hiccup though. If it's just one of these angles that happen out in the middle of the quadrant right here, you're going to have 2 angle options to give me. If it lands on the quadrant, like over here, sometimes it's one answer, sometimes it's 2. So let's just think. You have to first, what is the sign? The sign here is positive. So where is sign positive? All students. Okay, so do your little doodle. Then you got to place your thingies. This is opposite, this is hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse, well, let's see here. Let's not put an O, let's put square root of 3 and 2. Now, that should ring a bell. What's opposite square root of 3? Hopefully 60 is coming to mind. That's all you need. You just have one of your answers. So one of your answers is 60 degrees because he's in the first quadrant. You don't have to do anything. That is your reference angle, 60. Now over here, you have a reference angle of 60. But you got to tell me what the actual angle is. So you got to, in your brain, do 180 minus 60 and come up with 120. So I need both of those. That's option A. Alright. Then it's going to go cotangent theta equals 1. Alright. Now, where does tangent and cotangent give you a value of 1. Have y'all picked up on that yet? Which triangle gives you that? The 45. So when you see this with tangent or cotangent, I need your brain to go 45 degrees. Now, you got to go do the same thing. It's positive. Where is cotangent positive? First? Third. Okay? But if you're knowing, oh, that's 45 because my legs are the same. And over here, you're going to have -1 and -1, so the negatives cancel out, you still get 1/1. Then, okay, your reference angle is 45. So one of your answers, straight up 45. You got to come in here, this is 45 more than 180, so 225. Which one is that? C. Option C. All right, and then there's one more in that set. Secant equals negative square root of 2. Now, cotangent, I didn't worry about changing. Lots of times with reciprocals, I'll actually change it to what the reciprocal is. Like, okay, instead of cotangent, think about it as tangent is equal to 1. Do the reciprocal of both. My brain does not do secants. I can do this in cosine, but if I flip one side, I have to flip the other. So this is -1 over square root of 2. Now, that is easier on my brain. May not help y'all, but it helps me a lot. This thing is negative. So, think about it. Where is cosine negative? Well, it ain't here and it ain't here. It's got to be these two. So, when you start putting your stuff in, the -1 is here. You can just put one of them. And then your square root of 2 is here. Okay, hopefully that's ringing a bell. It's got to be a reference angle of 45. Okay, but you're going to have to think about both of those because 45 is not your answer. You got 180 minus 45, and you got 180 plus 45. And that's going to give them both to you, which is option D. Okay. This is the tough part. If you can navigate through something that's easy for you to think about. Can y'all do that? You good with that? Okay. All right, let's see here. I got one more minute, so we can get number 40 maybe. I'll tell you what, let's take a break here and then we'll do the last ones with the calculator in the next video. Finish up because we can't do it all in one. So I'll see y'all in the next one.